Welcome to La Seu d'Urgell in the Spanish Pyrenees for round 3 of the 2021 ICF Canoe Slalom World Cup. It's finals time. We have 170 athletes racing here from over 30 nations, and it includes many of the medalists from the recent Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. On the waters of the River Segre here at the purpose-built venue for the 1992 Olympic Games in Barcelona. This iconic venue has played host to so many events, including 3 World Championships, the European Championships, and multiple World Cups. So perfect conditions for racing here in the September sunshine. And myself, Andy Maddock, will talk you through the finals as we go. And I'm very pleased to say that I'm joined in the commentary box by Urša Kragel of Slovenia. Unfortunately missing out on the final today, but of course a valuable insight for you as a European Championship medalist and an Olympian from Rio 2016. So welcome to the commentary booth.
Hi Andrew, I'm really happy to be here. It's a new experience for me, and of course I'm saddened not to be in the final today, but I'm gonna, try and help comment this race. I hope it's gonna be an exciting one.
Well, great stuff. So we lead up with the women's kayak final. The top 10 from the semi-finals progress through into the women's kayak final. They race in reverse order of that semi-final performance, and then will be followed off immediately by the men's kayak final. So the rules are simple of slalom. It is fast and clean is the name of the game. We have a 25-gate course, and it's about negotiating gates in number order in the fastest possible time. Here are the World Cup standings. Jessica Fox of Australia in the final. She goes off second to last in this final. She leads the standings currently ahead of Elena Appel and Ricarda Funk of Germany. Ricarda not here. She's the Olympic champion from a month ago and not currently here. So this course, what are the big challenges for the athletes are going to have to prepare for in this final?
Yeah, I think SEO is always about getting your boat gliding, keeping that speed, being precise. I think it's a really challenging course, technically challenging, not so much physically. And first to go, it's Elena Appel.
So Elena Appel of Germany leads the way and, well, has the opportunity to put the pressure on those still to come. 10 boats racing, it's a single run, and it's all about delivery on this run for a place on this World Cup podium. And Elena Appel lying second in the standings of the World Cup after the first 2 races of the season, finishing 7th in Prague in the Czech Republic and then 3rd in Magdeburg in Germany. So no stranger to a podium finish.
Yeah, Elena's had a really good season so far, but I do think they're still racing for that spot at the World Championships. So she really has to have a good race today in order to qualify for the World Championships in Bratislava.
No, that's a really good point, Urša, in terms of the German team, yeah, very much keep the pressure on the team all the way through the season, ready for those World Championships. But it's a good run so far. It's clean on the first few gates as we approach the upstream gate 17. And as an indication, the fastest raw time from the semi-final was 92.63. So that's the kind of time that's needed to be on the podium here today.
Unfortunately a touch, but let's see what her raw time is going to be, and perhaps she's going to be still a medal contender.
Well, it's all about this bottom section as well, so she's very direct, 22 to 23, yeah, a little bit low on 24, but she's going to stop the clock. It's going to be a competitive time, but probably not what she wanted. 97.68. It's a good start. That includes a 2-second penalty on the downstream gate 19. And Elena Appel, second in the World Cup standings at the moment, just has to sit and wait at the bottom to see if that's enough.
Yeah, I think this is not going to be enough for the podium today. Unfortunately, the touch and a few mistakes that she's made will push her away from the best. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. You never know. It's sport. Anything can happen.
So next to start is the double world champion from Austria, Karina Kündler, who, well, she's been on form in the, she was the European champion earlier on this season. Hasn't quite got her World Cup season underway how she would have liked. She finished 26th and 20th in the first two races, but she certainly showed her pace in the semi-finals. It included 4 seconds in penalties. And so if she can get a clean run and deliver that kind of pace, we'd expect her to be challenged for a podium place.
Yeah, Karina is always a fast competitor. I mean, if she has a good run, I think there are not many girls who can beat her. So we'll see how she does today.
So Karina Kündler of Austria, double world champion, on course, setting her target to get her World Cup season a little bit more back in the form that we'd expect from Karina. Not made the final yet this season. Now she's in the final and going for a podium spot. Her run time 94 plus 4 seconds in the semi-final. So she's very capable of challenging the podium today. European champion in 2021, won in Ivrea in Italy earlier on this season. And then there's been a little bit of a gap for those not competing in the Olympic Games, and we're back into the business end of the season as we run in through the World Cup conclusion and into the World Championships in Bratislava. But a good start, 1.5 seconds up.
Yeah, I think she had a really nice and smooth start, nice first upstream gate, and I think she's carrying on quite nicely. But I think the race is going to be decided at the bottom part of the course. So yeah, I think another touch there. I don't think this is going as planned for Karina.
So she came out very tight out of the upstream 14, didn't she, and had to do a little pushback stroke 15, 16. And that combined with the penalty has now reduced that advantage down to a 0.24 deficit on race leader Elena Appel of Germany. It's nicely through 22 and 23, very direct indeed, but too direct. A 2-second penalty on that downstream gate 23. So Karina Kündler of Austria will cross the finish line. It's going to be a quick time again, 93.37 seconds, but plus 4 seconds in penalties, 97.37. And she, well, does take the race lead at this stage in the competition, but well, it shows the kind of pace required for the podium, and I think that's gonna, those 4 seconds in penalties will be expensive.
Yeah, I think the winner will have to have a clean run. It is a competitive final. There are a lot of good girls, a lot of experienced paddlers, so I think they're really going to have to show some good paddling today.
So that, the middle section was the undoing of Karina Kündler of Austria. 9 nations represented in this 10-boat final, so a great spread across the different nations. The only country getting more than 1 boat in, Australia. So we've got 2 Foxes, the Fox sisters, Noemi Fox and Jessica Fox, still to come in this competition. So our next competitor to start in this Canoe Slalom World Cup here in Laseu, it is Luca Jones of New Zealand. Multiple World Championship finalist, multiple Olympian, and of course won a bronze medal at the World Championships here 2 years ago. She's an Olympic silver medalist from Rio 2016. We could expect big things from Luca.
Yeah, I think Luca really knows this course well, and she's starting, I think, quite a slow pace, saving her energy for the bottom part, but unfortunately she got held up in the stopper, and that's going to be a big loss of time.
Well, at least she's kept it clean, and she, the key thing now is to recompose herself and look forward, not backwards at the mistake that's happened. And damage limitation, I think she could still be on track for a podium, but 3 seconds, that's a lot on the top.
It is a lot, but other girls were touching at the bottom part, so I guess if she is clean, she could be a provisional leader in the end.
So Luca Jones of New Zealand, well, she was 6th in Tokyo, following up on her silver medal in Rio. Has had a pretty successful season, and so far has made both the finals, well, all 3 finals now. She made the first finals in the first part of the season. She's now in the final and putting herself really in contention for a place in the overall standings in the top 3. Well, she's cut the deficit, 1.6 seconds down now. Luca Jones now, but running out of gates to make up that time. What can she do on the bottom part of the course?
Yeah, that was a really nice move there, 22-23. A little bit low in the last upstream gate, but let's see what the final time is going to be.
So Luca Jones of New Zealand stops the clock, 98.72 into third place. It's a clean run, but it's just a little bit of time, particularly on the top part of the course, on the sticky fingers, as they call it at the top of the course. A tricky little move.
I mean, I had problems at this bottom part. They also call it Niagara, right?
Yes.
I think, yeah, I kind of almost flipped there, and it is a hard move. I think it's a crucial move if you want to medal today. So whoever is going to do it right, I think it's going to be on the podium.
So Karina Kuhnle leads for Austria in the early stages. 3 boats down, 10 boats in total racing in this World Cup final. In the Spanish sunshine, conditions perfect, not a puff of wind, and great racing conditions for these athletes. So next to start for Australia, it is Noemi Fox. This her first World Cup final of the 2021 season. And, well, she put in a strong performance in that semi-final. She really looked like she was on form. When she finds her form, she can really find the run of the boat. But an early penalty is that on the downstream gate 4. It certainly is confirmed.
Yeah, she must be really happy to be in this final. I think she's going to give it her all, and hopefully she doesn't make any more touches from now on.
So we'll get an opportunity to see how that affects her on the split. 3.29 down on current race leader Kuhnle of Austria. But don't forget, Karina Kuhnle had 4 seconds in penalties on her time. So Noemi Fox, if she just recomposes herself and really finds the rhythm, keeps it clean on the bottom part of the course, she can still challenge for the race lead time.
Oh, and more problems.
It's interesting that exit of the upstream gate 14. We've seen a few people, Ursula, who have cut the line, been a bit ambitious on the exit of 14, and you pay the price on 15 either with a penalty or a time loss.
Yeah, the current there is pretty strong, and it goes into the right direction, whereas you have to turn left at that point. And fortunately, this run for Naomi is not really coming together.
Well, it's a great plan B on the drop. She clearly wasn't planning to do the spin. She recovered well from that. But she crosses the line, 99.01 into 4th place. And that includes 4 seconds of penalties. And just still being reviewed by the judges. But at the moment, 4th place. So it is still Karina Kuhnle leading for Austria, ahead of Elena Appel of Germany and Luca Jones of New Zealand. But still, 6 boats to go in this Women's Kayak World Cup 3 final. So 6 boats still to go in this Women's Kayak final here at La Seu in Spain. And next to start, Romane Prigent of France gets underway. The under-23 World Championship silver medalist in 2021. The first World Cup final of the 2021 season for Romane. So far finished in 5th 15th place in Prague, 13th in Markkleeberg, so already a season best in this World Cup, and very capable. The only French boat into the final, and very capable.
Got a little bit stuck there.
It's causing a few problems. That's where Luca Jones lost some time between 5 and 6. Sticky fingers is what it's called, that section of the course, and you can see why, because it kind of has a habit of reaching out, grabbing your bows, and causing a loss of rhythm. 2.29 seconds down on the early split for Prigent of France. Looking very smooth, very composed.
Yeah, Romain has a really nice style. I think she improved a lot in the last few years. She even won the World Cup race in Patzen last year. So I think she's really grown into a good competitor.
Well, that was a good section through gate 12 through to 17. Surely that will reflect on the split time as she comes down into the bottom third of the course. And yes, look at that. She's really trimmed the deficit. She's found 2 seconds on the race leader, Kuhnle of Austria. And now over the critical bottom drop section, over Niagara.
Yeah, nicely controlled. I think that is really fast, and it's gonna show in her raw time.
So Romain Prigent of France now sprinting to the finish, but is that a touch on the last gate? It is 99.39, and right at the end, the bottom part of the course, the sting in the tail, and it is into 5th place for Romain Prigent. So at the halfway point in this women's kayak final, then it is still Karina Kuhnle, double world champion for Austria, leading the way, ahead of Elena Appel of Germany and Luca Jones of New Zealand. So we're halfway through. 97.37 is the fastest time. Do you think that'll be enough to stay on the podium, or do you think it's going to go quicker?
It's really hard to comment, because I'm really surprised Corina is still in the first position. But let's see what the last 4 ladies are going to do, and yeah, perhaps she can get a medal.
Position. How are you satisfied with your today's final run?
Here is Karina Kuhnle.
So I'm not totally satisfied. Having 2 touches in the final is always annoying, and I know I could have done better. But in the end, I'm happy I was in the final racing all these amazing women, and yeah, I'm waiting to see what the others can throw down.
You had 2 touches. A lot of girls we've seen had problems. Is this a difficult course?
Yeah, it is quite a difficult course. Like, you have to be really precise on the line to be fast. But once you're on the line, you feel like you're flying. So this is a really fun course to pedal.
Thank you.
So there we have it, Karina Kuhnle of Austria. Here are the results as the halfway point in this World Cup Women's Kayak final. And it is Karina Kuhnle there, but those 4 seconds of penalties, as we were just discussing, has left the door not just a little bit ajar, but it's left the door wide open for those still to come. So 5 boats still to go in this women's kayak final. They're the fastest 5 boats from this morning's semi-finals. And amongst them we have 3-time Olympic medalist Jessica Fox of Australia, multiple world champion and reigning World Cup winner. Alongside them, Mallory Franklin of Great Britain, World Championship medalist, European Championship medalist. Evie Leadpath, Junior World Champion of 2021, still to come. But our first competitor, fresh from competing at the Olympic Games, is Eliska Mintalova of Slovakia on course.
I really like Eliska's style. She has this powerful stroke. She's really young. You can see she really wants it. So I think if she can like have a really nice run without any big mistakes. Just when I was saying that, I think she lost a couple of seconds right there.
Yes, unfortunately, again, sticky fingers, really just taking a bit of time. No penalties, but a penalty showing on the upstream gate 2 for Eliska Mintalova. She was 9th in the final of the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. And now refocusing, of course, they've got the World Championships in Bratislava in Slovakia, so on home water in 3 weeks' time. And there'll be great expectations on that course. So 4.97 seconds, the deficit at the moment for Mintalova of Slovakia. That's a lot of time to make up on a relatively short course here.
Yeah, apparently there's a lot of pressure in this final. More mistakes than in semifinals, I think. So I think they are just trying to push the boat, trying to get these seconds down the clock, and apparently making too many mistakes.
So Eliska Mintalova of Slovakia, a little bit low, a little bit direct through 22 to 23, pays the price, a little bit low into 24. And
yeah,
again, penalties are the problem.
I don't think that's going to be a run she's going to be happy with.
So it is into first place, 97.28. So we do have a new race leader ahead of Karina Kundler of Austria and Elena Appel of Germany. But you can see Eliska knows that she's not closed it down there. She's left the door open for those still to come.
No, she lost a lot of time. She had to spin in here, this gate section, and I think she knows she could have gone way, way faster.
So certainly the upstream, she was really strong. You can see her performance there, but just those penalties. And, well, on a course that's only just over 90 seconds long, then those penalties even more significant than that. So it is Eliska Mintalova of Slovakia goes into the race lead. It's a strong performance for the Tokyo finalist, but still 4 boats to go. And when they include the likes of Jessica Fox of Australia, you don't want to leave the door open as wide as that.
Yeah, there's a 5-second margin right now, and I think Jess is really capable of going, I don't know, second or two faster.
Well, not long to find out. But next to start here in this women's kayak final, it is Ana Satila of Brazil. Wearing bib number 10, always a really exciting and aggressive paddler. I just love watching Anna. She attacks the course. She never leaves anything on the course.
True, but that leaves the door open for mistakes, and unfortunately she gets penalized quite a lot of times. But if she keeps her run clean, I think she can be a medal contender.
So she was 13th at the recent Tokyo Olympic Games. She's a 2-time under-23 World Championship silver medalist and junior world champion back in 2014. So very capable. And look at that, 2.36 at the top. Now let's hope she just composes herself, stays focused, and keeps delivering on the course.
Yeah, that was a really good upper section. So hopefully she keeps the pace. She got a little bit pushed in the stopper. Hopefully she's gonna continue her run as her first part.
Wow, well that's good, because she did make the mistake, but she's kept it clean as she goes through 15 and 16.
Yeah,
that was the
nice
danger.
wall punt there.
So we get an indication, but she has lost time. So 2.09 seconds down now on Mintalova of Slovakia, our race leader. So a bit of work to do on this bottom section of the course. And this is where Mintalova picked up a penalty. Looks like no such problem for Satila of Brazil.
Yeah, stays clean, another wall punt.
This is looking good. Surely it's going to take the race lead. Satila of Brazil goes into third place. And how tight is that? 0.14 separating the top three.
That was really close and quite surprising, to be honest.
So it's a clean run for Ana Satila of Brazil, but it is still Eliska Mintalova of Slovakia leading the way, ahead of Karina Kundler of Austria And Ana Shatila of Brazil, that's the top three, but we still have 3 to go. So for Ana, it was the middle section that really undid her run, lost a bit of rhythm, as well as the time loss, 14, 15, 16.
Yeah, true. We can really see it's a challenging course, a really technical course. And every single section has to be done properly. You have to keep your focus and your composure all the way till the end.
So, next to start, 3 to go, it is Avi Liebfarth of the United States of America. And you always have to have a bit of a reminder that she's still a junior. She won the Junior World Championship this year. And, well, she's been to the Olympic Games. She's very experienced for her age.
Yeah, true. She's very young, but she's such a prominent paddler. She has a particular style of paddling, I believe, but it really seems that she knows how to put the boat in the right position in order to keep that speed.
Yeah, so you can see her stroke rate much higher than most of the athletes on the course, but she makes it work for her. And now coming down through to gate 9 and 10, we'll get an indication. Wow, look at that, 3.5 seconds up. We are looking at a superb run so far.
Yeah, hopefully she keeps the momentum going.
Well, now entering the critical, more technical section of the course. A little bit sticky running into the upstream gate 14, but only fractions of a second slipping away. This is the critical bit. She's got to keep it clean through 15 and 16.
I think she slowed down quite a bit. But let's see what the second intermediate time is going to be.
You're right, she's lost 3.5 seconds. Actually, now, look at that. The deficit is 1.4 seconds. And I think in that middle section, she was almost too tight on the poles, unable to keep the boat propelling forwards.
Yeah, true.
So over the bottom drop, she's still very much in contention. But
she's going to be low.
She's low and a touch on gate 23. And Avi Liebfarth is not going to go in front of Eliška Mintalova of Slovakia. Going to be outside that time for the United States and into 8th place, 100.95. And it is still Eliška Mintalova leading for Slovakia. Well, Avi Liebfarth, it was a superb top section, but not able to just keep that rhythm, that momentum. And you saw it really well there. The momentum went running into 14, and she never really found it again.
Yeah, another proof. You have to do the course right up until the end. There's no shortcuts. You always have to keep your boat running. And unfortunately, Evie started to do too many mistakes in the end.
Well, Eliška Mintalova still sitting in first place with 2 to go. She's got a medal. Now,
yeah.
You look at her emotion when she crossed the finish line. She was really disappointed. She wasn't expecting that.
No, I'm pretty sure she wasn't expecting to medal today, but yeah, anything can happen, and it's a pretty technical course, and girls are making big mistakes, so the door is open for
well, 2 boats still to go in this women's kayak final here. And next to start is Jessica Fox of Australia, the world champion on 3 occasions, 3-time Olympic medalist and World Cup defending champion from 2019. And we can expect something special. 92 is the kind of time we'd expect, and well, if she turns her magic on, you could expect closer to 90. Jessica Fox must have had a huge amount of pressure on her at the Olympic Games. Big expectation on her to win a double gold.
Yeah, I would not want to be in her shoes. At this Olympic Games, the pressure she was, oh my God, look at the...
Wow is the word that comes to mind. Yeah, 6
really
seconds
attacking.
up on the split on the top section. And she really looks like she's turned up the gearing, ready for this final. She's still attacking, coming through 15, ducks off 16, And Jessica Fox of Australia is showing why she is the world number one, a three-time world champion. Now she's got to keep that rhythm. She's got to deliver on the bottom. She's maintained the advantage, 5.8. This is an outstanding run. And, well, if she could build on this, she could even go sub-90.
Yeah, looking at her semi-final run, it looked like she was saving the best for the final, and she is showing her skills and strength on this course. I think this is a winning run for Jess.
Jessica Fox goes under 90 seconds. Boom! 89.92 seconds. And that is an outstanding performance from the World Cup leader. And, well, that is a run to beat for one boat still to go. But what are your reflections on that? Sub 90.
Yeah, I'm speechless. I mean, she's been showing these superb runs the entire season, and I'm really happy she, delivers when it's most important, and I'm happy for her.
So Australia's Jessica Fox goes 7.3 seconds clear at the top with one boat to go in this women's kayak final. And wow, that was a run to watch. She left nothing out there. She attacked the course, but so fluid.
A run for the books.
Well, she certainly put a time down there, and she's basically left it out there. There's still one boat to go, Mallory Franklin of Great Britain, and she's basically said, well, you beat that, you deserve the win.
Yeah, 100%.
So Australia leading ahead of Slovakia and Austria, with Mallory Franklin on course for Great Britain. Mallory Franklin, a World Championship silver medalist from 2018. And, well, an early penalty picked up on the downstream gate 6 for Mallory. She was the fastest run through the semi-finals, 92.63. But if she wants to stand on top of the podium, she's got a bit of a job to do. But still, 2.64 down. Don't forget that Fox at this stage was 6 seconds up on second place Mintalova of Slovakia.
It is a really good intermediate time, taking away the touch, but I think she had some problems before the breach in that upstream gate, losing a bit of time. But she has a really smooth style. I think she can get some time back in the bottom section.
I think you're right. She's really got a rhythm. The mistakes at the top haven't affected it. She's really still running the boat nicely, attacking the course. 3.1 seconds down on Fox's time. Remember, at the moment, that was, I think Fox had a margin of around 6 seconds over the second place position. So Franklin needs to deliver 23, keep it clean through 24 and 25. It's going to be outside of the time of Jessica Fox of Australia, but surely into second place, taking the silver medal, and crosses the finish line, 93.58. And it is second place for Mallory Franklin of Great Britain. Well, that's still a stunning performance there, because if you look, that was 91.58 raw time from Mallory Franklin of Great Britain. But that mistake at the top of the course, here we see it. As she goes through gate 6, the bows come up. She does well to make sure she gets inside the gate.
Yeah, it was such an unfortunate mistake, but she was patient enough, and that paid off in the end. Even here, she got stuck in the area, but she just continued, carried on, and that paid off.
Well, what an outstanding performance for Jessica Fox of Australia. Mallory Franklin of Great Britain, both a class apart from the rest of the field. Your reflections, Usha?
Yeah, Jessica is just out of this world. I mean, her style, her power, is just, she's so focused, so determined. And
Congratulations, Jessica. Yeah. Amazing run, amazing win. How did you feel on water?
Really good. I tried to really attack it, and I came in quite well for gate 1, and then I just thought, okay, I'm going to send it and try and do the tight line. So yeah, look, it pieced together really well, and I'm so pleased with that race.
This is your first win in kayak here in La Seu. You won here in canoe, and you were silver at last World Championships. So another milestone for your career.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's always really challenging, the Sail World Cup. I think the course is quite tricky and fiddly, and I've never put down sort of those amazing runs that I feel like I'm capable of sometimes. So to actually do it today is really great, and I was inspired by the boys to try and go a little bit harder and a bit faster, so I'm happy it paid off.
Well, what a final it was. It took a little while to get going, but when it got going, it set fire to it. Jessica Fox's run time, sub 90 seconds, 89.92, and she extends her lead in the World Cup standings. Mallory Franklin moves up the order in the World Cup standings, takes a silver medal. Eliška Mintalova of Slovakia, who thought those penalties had cost her a place on the podium, settles for bronze.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, really good, strong competitors in top 3, and I think they're all deserving of this medal.
I agreed. It's you know, at the end of the day, you have to deliver in the final, don't you? And the pressure that goes with it, we've seen it can force some mistakes, and getting the balance right of how hard do you attack and risk versus reward.
Exactly.
So don't forget the men's kayak final up next, immediately afterwards. But here is the result from the women's kayak final. Jessica Fox takes the win with a stunning performance and a clean run, 89.92, ahead of Mallory Franklin of Great Britain, Eliška Mintalova of Slovakia, and Karina Kundler, leader for so long, has to settle for 4th place.
By a really small margin.
So we will be up next with the men's kayak final competition. And here is the women's kayak World Cup standings. Jessica Fox extends her lead at the top. Elena Apple scoring well in this final. And Luca Jones moving up the order into 3rd place. So, of course, double points up for grabs next weekend at the World Cup final, just over the Pyrenees in France, in Pau. And we look forward to you joining us then. You'll be able to follow that live at Planet Canoe. But Jessica Fox very much exerting her authority on this field. So myself, Adi Maddock, I will be keep you informed as we go through the men's kayak competition. But we're going to have a change of guests. So a big thank you, Urša Krajel of Slovenia. Thank you for joining me through this part of the program, and all the best for the rest of the season in Pau and in World Championships in Bratislava.
Thank you, Andrew. It was a pleasure to be here. Bye.
So here we focus back on the men's kayak, and here is the order at the moment as we stand. Jakub Grigal is the leader of the World Cup standings after the first 2 races, but Jakub, the silver medalist from Tokyo 2020, hasn't progressed through into this afternoon's final. So lots up for grabs and some big points up for grabs if required. That's the start list for this competition. Remember, the athletes racing in reverse order of the semi-final performance. And it's the 25-gate course. It's the same course as the athletes competed on in the semi-final. And we kind of know 82.70 was the fastest time that anyone managed in those semi-finals. So myself, Adi Maddock, will bring you all the action as it unfolds. And I'm pleased to welcome Bradley Forbes-Cryans, the Flying Scotsman from the Great Britain team, into the commentary box. Welcome, Bradley.
Good afternoon, Andy.
So it'd be good to hear your reflections as we go through this final. But we're about to get underway now with the first of our competitors in this 10-boat final Noah Hegge of Germany starts us off.
Yeah, Noah Hegge, this weekend's actually German selection for their World Championships, so for him to be in the final this weekend is it's worth a lot towards that selection, so hopefully he can put in a strong performance here.
Yeah, and going off first in the final, it's kind of a no-pressure spot. It's a bit of an understatement, no pressure, but because you've just talked about selection, but certainly nothing to lose, everything to gain.
Yeah, he's had a great top half so far, or top third, and yeah, for me in the finals, I definitely prefer to go off earlier on. No one's set a benchmark yet, and you've really got a free run to just go out there and try and do your best, which Noah's making a great job of that just now.
So Noah comes under the middle bridge here on this course here in La Seu, built for the 1992 Olympic Games. Gosh, nearly 30 years ago, and it's hosted competitions. It's still very current.
No, he looks like he's having a flyer. Cut gate 14 really, really tight there. But yeah, he looks like he's keeping the boat light on top of the water, and he's staying on the poles, which, here we are, gate 15. Yeah, I didn't know if it was 14 or 15, but yeah, just cut that a little bit too tight there, it seems.
Well, it's interesting. Certainly the penalty's gone off, but it is being reviewed. Each of the gates is reviewed live as we go down the course. So Noah Hegge, he needs to concentrate on delivering his best run possible. And it looks like the 50-second penalty is currently standing 136.70, so that's an 86.70 plus 50 seconds in penalties. And you're right, he did leave it to the judges on that gate 15 to make the decision.
Yeah, he did. It's really funny on this course, like the time can easily slip away from you. I really didn't think that Noah did too much wrong there, but when you're trying to duck off the poles that little bit too much, it can just slow down the boat speed, especially on the sail. And I think that's what's happened there, because you know the rest of his run technically was delivered very, very well.
So there's our team of video judges who have all sorts of different camera angles on, particularly on the upstream gates, but throughout the course to enable them to review the penalties as we go. And well, certainly left that one down to the judges.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, he'll know that he's put it all out there today, and I think you know that's what the sport's all about. So there you can see it, penalty confirmed. So yeah, it's a bit unfortunate because that won't help his world ranking points out there. I don't even know if they're giving out world ranking points still. Maybe the standings might still be frozen at this stage. But yeah, you'd really hope to have a clean run in the final.
Well, let's turn our attention to our next competitor to start, and it's the super fast boat from Slovenia, Martin Srabotnik, who was very fast in the semi-final, and he managed to qualify through into this final with 4 seconds of penalties.
Yeah, unbelievable, and he's one of 3 Slovenians in this final, so you know it's clear that they like La Seu and they know how to paddle the course well here. So.
Oh, but there's an early penalty on the downstream gate 5. And what's it like, Bradley, paddling through fingers on that section? We've seen a few mistakes in the finals so far.
Yeah, gate 5, that was one that threw me as well today. Gate 5, 6, I kind of stalled my boat out a little bit there earlier on, just because it is really, really fiddly. You want to keep your boat light on top of the water, but it just looked like he got a little bit bogged down by the stopper, and that's cost him there, the penalty on gate 5.
So in terms of time, 2.16 down on the first split. And this is where Noah Hegge of Germany picked out the penalty. No problem for Srabotnik of Slovenia as he comes in and out of the upstream 17. That was tidy.
Yeah, as we've seen with Martin, you know, he's incredibly fast over the water. So even one penalty, he could leave himself in a strong position by the time the run's over. So
we obviously would expect him to take the race lead here, but it's all about those still to come. He's got to find the time on the bottom part of the course if he's to pressure those still to come.
Just a little bit held in that final upstream there. I think he would have been trying to go for the wall there, but just had to hold on to the sweep stroke, which held him up on the exit of the upstream. So what was that? 87.
87.62, so Martin Srabotnik of Slovenia takes the race lead. That includes a 2-second penalty, but we do know the fastest raw time on the semi-finals was 82.70, and those boats still to come.
Yeah, Felix Oshmount's incredibly fast this morning over the water, and you know, he really didn't even look like he was having to work too hard for that pace. So I'll be really interested to see whether he tries to just keep it the same for the final, or if he thinks that he can find a little bit more time within that semi-final run.
So how much do you have to change your style of paddling when you come here to Seoul compared to many of the other courses that we're racing on?
Yeah, for me, I come to Seoul and I think about keeping my bows incredibly light over the water, because each of those little waves really does shave the speed off the boat. And maybe as well, I like to think about maybe increasing the rep rate of my stroke, and trying not to hold on to the strokes for too long, so that it just keeps the boat moving over the water, even if you do get a little bit bogged down. Here we've got Nico Teston. I did a good bit of training with him on Laseo in the build-up to the 2019 World Championships. Very, very good boat in Laseo, so wishing him all the best today.
So Nico Teston on course now for Slovenia, finalist at the Under-23 World Championships, and as you say, Bradley, very capable of delivering a quick run here. He's been consistent. He's been consistent throughout the rounds, really, not just in the semi-final earlier, but in the heats yesterday.
Yeah, opting for the rudder on that first upstream there. I thought he might have gone for the sweep, but you could just see him carry the speed out of that first upstream, so it's worked well for him. And you can see how light his boat is over the water just now, so he'll be looking to keep this momentum going.
Well, he's got the advantage on the top, nearly 1.5 seconds up on the race leader, Srabotnik of Slovenia. But it's not about those that have been, it's about those still to come, but a little bit on top of 14.
Yeah, it looks like he might have picked up a penalty there in 14, yeah, a little 2-second penalty. But the thing I love watching about Nico is just how composed he is over the water. He never tries to push the boat around too much. He's always just trying to keep it tracking in the right direction. Well, and there you can see it's still up on the split there.
Yeah, so he has clearly got the pace despite that penalty, because he still holds the advantage. Now nicely through 22, 23, tight into 24. This is a good run here.
He's got that punt off the wall there, now just pushing through to the finish.
And stops the clock, 85.48. He is our new race leader. It does include a 2-second penalty, so that is a stunning run, 83.48 plus the 2-second penalty, and provisionally into the race lead for Slovenia. So it's Slovenia 1, Slovenia 2, Germany 3, but 7 boats still to go.
Yeah, you could see he was pretty happy even with that touch just in the middle there. I think, you know, 85 is still strong. That's quite strong pace, and what I thought was really impressive was the composure into that final upstream, and it allowed him to get that punt off the wall and really kick the boat out of the up, and yeah, it was smooth.
So I think our video review team's still looking at a couple of the gates on the course. It looks like 15-16 is the area they're looking at for Nico Teston, our provisional race leader, but the asterisk has gone off his name, so that is now a confirmed time, 85.48, and our race leader with 7 boats to go.
Yeah, this is an incredibly strong final we've got this afternoon. We've got Vit Prindis up next, Giovanni Di Janeiro, who, you know, arguably, apart from Yuri Priskovic, has been the form boat of the season. Boris Naveau knows this course incredibly well. We've got Crespo, Echanes, Kauser, world champion here in 2019, and Felix Oshmount, who, yeah, won the semi-finals this morning with a fairly steady run, it would have appeared.
Well, next to start, Vit Prindis for the Czech Republic. He's a World Cup winner of the series in 2017, and you'd never rule this chap out. Always on the pace, always attacking the course. And let's see what he can do. He's had a slower start than you would normally expect. He has made every final so far.
Yeah, triple European champion in Ivrea this year, which was just crazy. So yeah, he'll be on a hunt today for another medal for sure.
So 7th in Prague, 6th in Markkleeberg in Germany. So he's made it 3 finals from 3, but I know he'll be hungry for a podium. Well, that's a good start, 1.13 up on the split.
Yeah, coming down through this next section, he's just looking to keep that left to right on the boat and try and keep it tracking into the up as well as possible, and he's done a fairly good job of that there, kicking the speed out the upstream, and yeah, nice and tight through those next staggers.
So Vit Prindis now will get an indication on the second split as he comes down through gate 18. And he's up, not just by a little bit, but by 3.3 seconds. Vit Prindis is showing us more of his vintage style as he comes into the critical move.
Yeah, just absolute masterclass here. I love watching Vit over the water. He's got that punt away from the final upstream, and now, yeah, he's got the gas to give it everything to the finish. 82.76. That's a fantastic run there. He looks happy with that.
Well, great stuff there. Vit Prindis takes the race lead for the Czech Republic. Yes, 82.76. So that is just short of the fastest run time we've seen on this course today. He says, get out there. You're going to have to go quicker than the semis if you want to beat me. So Vit Prindis leading for the Czech Republic ahead of Nico Testen of Slovenia and Martin Strapotnik of Slovenia. That's the top three, but we have the 6 fastest boats from the semi-finals still to come.
Yeah, Boris Neveu, when Peter Kauser won his world title here in 2009, Boris finished second. He's won a World Cup here as well, 2014. Yeah, he's exceptional on this course, so definitely one to watch.
Yeah, we know that La Seu is like the second home for the French. Quite often use it to run their selection trials, and very familiar with the course.
Yeah, they do tend to do one weekend in Pau, and then the next weekend come over to La Seu for the double, and you've got the Pyrenees Cups as well. So yeah, very, very familiar face on this course here.
So unfortunately, we don't have many spectators here because of that pandemic. It has to be behind closed doors. But next to start, it is Boris Neveu of France, the world champion from 2014. And, well, hugely accomplished paddler. And in the semi-final, he just looked so smooth, so composed, and looked like he still had something in the tank.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't manage to catch his semi-final because I was obviously racing at that stage. But yeah, he's just absolutely smoked that first upstream on the sweep. It's yeah, such a nice move. Opting for the punt. I think we'll see a lot of people going for that on the second upstream as well. Plus 2 second penalty on gate 7. I didn't see that one myself. But yeah, we'll leave it up to the video review to have a look at that. But fast, well, still. Only 1.13 with a touch down on the split set by Vit Prindis, so he's going for it here.
Certainly is, so he's absorbed some of that penalty. A little bit sticky running into 14. He really had to work hard there, but he's got a good line, 15, 16, certainly straight lines that. And well, he was 7th at the Tokyo Olympics, finished just behind you, Bradley.
Yeah, I wasn't looking behind me at the Olympic Games, but yeah, Boris, I don't think he was too content with his final at the Olympic Games, but in canoe slalom, it's 90 seconds, one run. You've really got to set your best plan and hope that it works out for you in the moment. But yeah, I know that Boris would have been looking for more there. And again, just a little bit caught in that final upstream. That final upstream is so difficult when you're out there on course because the poles are actually offset so that the pole that's closer to the bank is actually further upstream. So you've got to be really clinical with your nose, and trying to get in there for that punt is really difficult. So I think we'll see a few more get caught out there in the final.
So provisionally into 3rd place for Boris Neveu of France, and this is the penalty on the top part of the course, gate 7, a 2 second penalty. There's our review judges looking at all the angles they can, and we'll have to wait and see. But it was at the bottom of the course. Boris put in a good run, but just, as you say, a little bit too direct maybe through 23, and on the upstream 24 was just a little bit too long in the stroke.
Yeah, and very tight there on gate 7, but yeah, I thought it should have been. It looks like it's going to be penalty removed, just confirmed on the screen there. So
well, we'll have to wait and see. But at the moment, provisional results. Vit Prindis leading still with that outstanding time, 82.76 for the Czech Republic, ahead of Nico Testen of Slovenia, Boris Neveu of France, just waiting for that result to be firmed up. But here in perfect conditions, in La Seu, in the Spanish Pyrenees, then we are now getting to the point of, well, we're halfway through this men's kayak final, and hopefully we'll get a chance in a moment to speak to Vit Prindis.
Vit, you're currently in the leading position. How was your today's run?
It was good, much better than my semi-final run. In the semi-final run, I did too many mistakes. Now the run was much smoother, even the time was faster. And except really few small mistakes, I'm really happy with my run and basically with both runs because they were clean. So now I can enjoy the rest of the race.
Do you think it will be enough for the win or at least the medal?
It's hard to guess. I don't even know if it's... I don't think it's fastest time, but it's fast enough, maybe to podium, but who knows? There are really fast guys on the top. So, like I said, I will enjoy the rest of the race, their runs, and I'm happy with the result. I mean, with the run. So that's all for me now. Thank you.
So that was our race leader, Vit Prindis of the Czech Republic, at the halfway point in this men's kayak final here at the third World Cup of the ICF Canoe Slalom World Cup season. And it's poised on a knife edge here with that time, 82.76. There are 5 boats still to go. They might have been fast in the semi-final, but they've got to go faster if they want to take gold.
Yeah, the 5 boats still to go. I don't know. You've got the 2 Spanish boys there, which home water advantage, Giovanni, Kauser, and Oshmouth. So I wouldn't count anyone out of having the ability to go faster than Prindis' time there. But yeah, Vit, I'd say he's fairly nailed on for a podium. It's 82.76. It's really fast time. Only a little bit slower than Felix Oshmouth's this morning. So. Yeah, it will be. There'll be a little bit of a step up needed here if they want to get ahead of Vit.
So next to start, it is Juan Crespo of Spain coming into the top part of the course. And in fact, he wasn't that great on the upstream gate 2 in the semi-final. It didn't seem to slow him down that much, but you can expect him to really use that local knowledge. And of course, he was a medalist at the World Championships here 2 years ago.
Yeah, you could see that local knowledge coming into play there through 5-6. He was really happy just to run down the left-hand side of the drop there and nip into that inside pole. So I think that'll be a really fast split here.
And it is up on Prindis' time, only by 6/100ths of a second. And well, he left it late to actually get his head around there, but
that was incredibly tight. But yeah, it was just fast composure, and he clearly knew that he had enough space on the tail there that he could push off the wall like that and really nip around that inside pole.
So we'll get an indication that as he comes down towards gate 18 as to where he stacks up, and he has extended the advantage nearly a second now. Juan Crespo of Spain, but he digs in, and it doesn't cost him any penalties, but that will cost him a bit on the clock.
Yeah, and just the effort that's needed to try and get the boat back up to speed before going down the drop. So he'll be hurting now, but he's done well to get out of that final upstream.
So there's a 2-second penalty on gate 16. It's going to be outside the race lead time, 86.06. He stops the clock, and Juan Crespo for Spain goes into 4th place. So that 2-second penalty on gate 16, I know it was being reviewed, but it has been reviewed and it stands.
He knows it. You get to those crucial parts of the run, and when I thought, oh, he's on a really good run here, I bet he thought at the same time, oh, I'm on a really good run here. And the sport, you click your fingers and the run can move away from you so quickly. It looked really strong all the way down to 16, but that's cost him there, just dragging the bow and then having to get it back up to speed before going back down that final drop.
Yeah, we saw a shot there of David Lorente in the crowd who missed out on the final, which was a bit of a shock on his home course. But he was supporting his compatriot, Juan Crespo, and we still have another Spanish athlete to go in this final. So Vit Prindis still leading the way for the Czech Republic, ahead of Boris Nouveau of France and Nico Testen of Slovenia. 4 boats still to go in this men's kayak World Cup here in Laseu in Spain.
You can see just how much effort Juan's put in there at the finish, still blowing really, really hard after the run. But here we have, yeah, arguably the form boat of the season, Giovanni De Janeiro, maybe looking for a medal after his Olympic result. So, yeah, maybe he'll make it up here.
Well, Giovanni De Janeiro of Italy now, who has been super consistent in every race except the Olympic Games. And, well, this is his opportunity to move up. Like I say, he's, well, he was second in the overall World Cup standings coming into this race. Jakob Griegart, who was leading, hasn't made it through to the final. So this is a great opportunity for De Janeiro to take some more points away and go into that lead. He's
got into a little bit of trouble at the top of the course there. He saw him having to spin out after the up left. And so... Well, now he'll know that it's really all or nothing. He's not got anything to lose now. He's already lost the time, so he'll be pushing now all the way to the finish just to see how quickly he can go.
Well, De Janeiro of Italy, disappointment in the Olympic Games. He missed out on that final, having had such good form going into the Games, and he's got a penalty on the upstream 14. And on the gate 6. I have to say, I did see 14 move. I was watching it. It was the slightest of touches, and I'm sure they'll be reviewing that. But De Janeiro now over the bottom drop. Very good line here as he runs into the upstream gate 24.
Yeah, that was lovely. That's the best I think we've seen all day, running down that bottom drop. Just kept the bows nice and light, tracking all the way into the upstream. But yeah, just gate 20 there. Like he'd already made the mistake on gate 8, but also gate 20. I think that's probably one of the hardest gates on the course, because you've got a tight downstream beforehand, and if you don't get over and get your bow pointing back downstream, then it's going to catch you out, and you just lose the run of the boat, which, you know, at this level you can't really afford to do that if you want to be placing in that top 3.
Well, there we see, that was the big mistake for Giovanni. Not only the penalty, but the time lost as well for the spin out. And into 6th place for Giovanni De Janeiro of Italy. And I have to say, that's quite a surprise. He will still take some good World Cup points into the final next weekend in Pau, just over the Pyrenees from here. And of course, you can follow all that action live on Planet Canoe. But it is not going to be a podium today for Giovanni De Janeiro. Still Vit Prindis sitting firm at the top of the leaderboard for the Czech Republic with 3 boats to go.
Up next, it's the homeboy Paul Echanez, and yeah, he'll be looking to enjoy this final run, I'm sure. I think this is his first senior World Cup final, so yeah, there we can see him in the start blocks getting psyched up.
So next to start, Pau Echanez of Spain sets off looking for a World Cup podium in front of his home crowd here in Spain. And while he throws caution to the wind on the first upstream gate, nearly hits the number board. That
was wild. Tail looked to have sunk down a little bit, but yeah, here we go. Just flying through gate 5, 6. Like, I think that was one of the hardest gates for all of the non-locals to do, but he's taken some time back there, definitely.
Well, we'll get an indication of how he stacks up against race leader Vit Prindis of the Czech Republic, and he's up just a little bit, but that's all that counts as he comes into the upstream. There must be huge pressure on him in his first World Cup final on home water, and so far he's handling that pressure.
Yeah, just lost the run into gate 14 a little bit there, but now he's making his way out nice and tight, got the tracking back on the boat. What's he opting for here? Yeah, that sweep just around the inside pole, getting moving back downstream again. So this is the crucial gate, gate 20, I think, just trying to keep it tracking downstream, and he's done it really, really well there.
Nicely done. Echanez of Spain is just 9/100ths down on race leader Prindis of the Czech Republic, and he has done a good job on 24, so he sprints to the finish. 82.76 is the time to beat. It's going to be outside of that, but it's into 2nd place for Pau Echanez of Spain. And the Spanish crowd, whilst it might be a limited crowd here, there is plenty of support for the young Spaniard.
Yeah, he's absolutely stoked with that run there, thumping his boat as he came through the finish. He's I'm always a little bit envious of his boats, actually. He puts this like plastic over the top of it and then draws all of the detail on himself. It's really, really cool. But yeah, what a run there. Home crowd. Oh, he'll be loving it.
So what a run under pressure with 2 boats to go. Vit Prindis still leading, but now Spain's Pau Ecaniz has gone into 2nd place ahead of Boris Neveu of France in 3rd place. But of course, we've got 2 quick boats. The legend Peter Kauser, double world champion, still to go. And Felix Oschmautz of Austria, 4th at the Olympic Games in Tokyo, and the fastest from the semi-finals.
Yeah, he's left it all out there, Pau, today. What a run. Great performance against the best in the world, you know, barring... We've not got Hannes Eigner or Yuri Priskovic racing at this event, but, you know, what a strong start line, and to deliver that final run, yeah, great. But here we have the man, the myth, the legend, Peter Kauser. Seo is probably his 2nd favourite, if not 3rd. He's a big fan of Tassin, Augsburg and Laseo, so let's see what he can throw down today. He's known for delivering special runs on this course, so let's see what he's got in the tank.
Peter Kauser of Slovenia now goes for gold here in Laseo. He's definitely capable of it. Building up, it'll help him as he runs into the World Championships to build from the disappointment of not making the final at the Tokyo Olympic Games.
Yeah, maybe not quite as smooth as Pau through 5-6, but that's just where that local knowledge comes into play. But yeah, Kauser always carries a lot of speed on his boat, so yeah, no problems there. 0.3 of a second down on the first split, opting for the punt. Yeah, he's delivered that really, really well there. Let's see if he can keep the bow just dry through 14, and he does.
So he's made 3 finals from the 3 World Cup Series races so far this year. 9th and 8th. And now what can he do here in Laseo? Well, it's tight. 0.3 down on the top split. That's nothing. It's all about the middle section, and he's found time in the middle. 0.09 now. He has the advantage. Can he hold on to that through these last 5 gates? Over 22. Great camera angle there as we come into the upstream gate 24.
I don't think he's as fast as Vit through those final few gates there, but we'll see. Putting the burners on through to the finish.
It's outside of that time, but it's good enough for 2nd place for Peter Kauser of Slovenia. So Vit Prindis holds on to the gold medal spot with 1 boat still to go. Peter Kauser knows he's got a medal for Slovenia. And Pau Ecaniz of Spain holding on to 3rd place. But, well, the time to beat for the podium, 83.27.
Yeah, you could just see Peter as he came down over that final drop there, just lost the tracking slightly on his boat in comparison to Vit Prindis earlier on. So yeah, and the time just slides away so quickly, but it makes it so exciting to watch when the times are so tight just as you're going into the final split. But yeah, let's see if Pau can secure himself a medal today. Will it be Pau, or will it be the winner of the semi-final, Felix Oschmautz, who's also been on an absolute roll this season, delivering some very, very fast runs across the competitions.
Yeah, and just 1/100th of a second separating Peter Kauser in 2nd from Pau Ecaniz of Spain in 3rd place. So super tight racing, as we'd expect, and it's always even tighter here in Laseo. So 1 boat still to go in this men's kayak final. Prindis leads for the Czech Republic ahead of Kauser and Ecaniz of Spain. And here, our final competitor in this men's kayak final, 4th at the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games, and the fastest in the semi-final, Felix Oschmautz of Austria. So he knows if he goes as fast as he did in the semi-final, he will take gold here in this race, just as he did earlier on this season. It wasn't gold, but he has been on the podium this season.
Yeah, it's been a great start for Felix so far. You can see him really pushing the pace onto the boat. So I think he's going to be very much in contention at this first split.
Well, yes, indeed. Nothing to separate the two, really. Vit Prindis and Felix Oschmautz at the moment. Just 4/100ths of a second.
Nice punt there off the wall in the upstream gate 12, and he's taken that higher line, but it's really worked out for him on the way into 14. Now just fighting to get that tracking back on the boat on the exit, and yeah, he's delivered that well. Yeah, again, opting for the punt on gate 17 as well.
Well, it looks like there's maybe a penalty on gate 7. Certainly there's a review on gate 7, but at the moment he has held on to his advantage.
Yeah, and through that crucial section, gate 19-20, which can so easily catch people out. And yeah, this is strong pace through the bottom drop. Oh, stay off the poles there. And he's delivered it well. Now just pushing on to the finish. I think it could be heartbreak for Po today.
Well, he is just outside into second place for Felix Ochsmalz of Austria. And, well, there is still a review of the run. It is still not official, but provisionally, Vit Prindis does take gold for the Czech Republic. Felix Ochsmalz provisionally takes silver for Austria, and Peter Kauser of Slovenia takes the bronze. And as you say, heartbreak for Spain. 4th place. Well, you know that well. You were 4th here at the World Championships in 2019.
Man. Absolutely gutted for the young lad, but hopefully it gives him the confidence to push on, that the pace is there, and yeah, just keep delivering runs like that, because that was just, it was a really awesome run to watch there from Po. Yeah, super happy for Felix. He's been hunting for that medal for a while, shown, you know, so much promise in the semi-finals all year. I think he's won, you know, most of the semi-finals this year. So yeah, to finally get that medal is so well deserved.
Congratulations, Sweet. You remained at the top. How did you enjoy the final?
It was a really nice final, like 4 guys in half of the second, and I was every time in the finish line, I was like, oh, slow down. No, I'm kidding. But it was really nice runs, and it shows that this course, it's special. It's about small mistakes, and really nice runs from the guys.
You already won here 5 years ago. How does it feel to be again at the top podium position?
I'm really happy. I had the feeling yesterday about today's race it's going to be good, so it was good. I was disappointed in 2019 on World Champs because I made 2 touches which cost me a medal. And every time, like last few years, I had small touches or small mistakes which put me out of the podium. So I'm happy that again I put a run which was enough for a medal, gold medal. So I'm happy with my results at the beginning of second part of the season. Thank you.
Congratulations to Vit Prindis of the Czech Republic on gold medal in this, the 3rd World Cup of the 4-race series. And, well, he'll move up the order in the World Cup standings, so we'll bring you that in just a moment. But Felix Ochsmalz of Austria, a justified silver medal. Peter Kauser of Slovenia bounces back after the disappointments of the Olympic Games to take bronze here in Laseu. And, well, as we were saying, Po Ekanes of Spain, young athlete, first World Cup final, just misses out, but an outstanding 4th place.
Yeah, that was a really, really strong performance from Po, and you know, I think this is his 1st or 2nd year of under 23, so you know, so much more to give in the sport, and definitely one to look out for over the next couple of years, because yeah, it looks like he's coming up quick.
So let's bring you the results. So this is the official result of the men's kayak final here at the 3rd World Cup of the ICF Canoe Slalom World Cup Series. Vit Prindis takes gold ahead of Felix Ochsmalz of Austria, Peter Kauser of Slovenia. Well, what a field it was, and just half a second separates the gold and bronze medals.
And if you know, you take away the penalties that you saw that Nico Teston and John Crespo had, probably one of the strongest finals that we've seen all season.
Indeed, and of course Vit Prindis now goes into the lead, so it takes the lead going into the World Cup final with double points up for grabs next weekend ahead of Giovanni De Gennaro, and Felix Oshmaut comes right into the equation. And of course you can follow all that action next week as we go to Pau in the French Pyrenees, and we'll be racing in that World Cup final. Double points, but there's still lots of actions to go over the course of this weekend here in La Seu. We still have the semi-finals and finals of the women's C1 and the men's canoe singles. And of course we have the extreme slalom, which will make its debut in the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. So join us for the semi-finals of the women's C1 at 9 o'clock Central European time tomorrow. From myself, Andy Maddock, and from Bradley Forsgrimes, thank you for joining me in the booth.
No, thank you for having me. That was, yeah, fun.